All right, let's talk Chicago Bears. Obviously, the Bears are spending a lot of time and effort to try and find their next head coach. They may interview me next. It seems they're interviewing everybody under the sun. But under the noise of all the moves, all the hustle and bustle, it looks like the Bears have revealed their preferred candidate. Exciting news out of Chicago. But first, I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, like I alluded to, the Bears have interviewed a lot of folks. This is a team that has used this entire process to evaluate offensive staff, defensive staff, assistant coaches, former head coaches, professional, college level. The Bears have interviewed everybody under the sun. But based on this recent update, it looks like the Chicago Bears have quietly identified the guy they want leading the show going forward. Let's jump right into this article. This is courtesy of The Athletic. The Chicago Bears are hosting former Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy at Hollis Hall for an in person interview, according to multiple league sources. They have hosted him by the time you guys are reading this. The team flew McCarthy in on a private plane, as ESPN first reported. McCarthy is the organization's second known in person interview. Former Commanders head coach Ron Rivera returned to Hallis Hall, where he was the Bears defensive coordinator from 2004 to 2006 for his interview over the weekend. The Bears hadn't been known league wide as a team that would use a private plane for a head coaching interview, making this very notable. McCarthy was scheduled to fly into Chicago Executive Airport in Wheeling on Wednesday afternoon. I think the report kind of highlights everything right there. The Bears pulling out some aggressive stops, rolling out the red carpet, so to speak, for Mike McCarthy. I think that's an indicator there by itself. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this for the Chicago Bears. But Bears fans, your turn now. What do you think of a hypothetical Mike McCarthy hiring to be the head football coach of the Chicago Bears? Grade it in the comment section below. This hypothetical here. Would you love it? Give it an A plus. Is it kind of a wait and see? Maybe it's a C. Do you absolutely hate it? You don't want it to happen? Maybe give it an F. Grade the hypothetical Mike McCarthy hire for us in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts now on this hypothetical? And maybe it's not going to be a hypothetical for long. The Bears hiring Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Nick, this seems like the Bears, Shangri La, the Bears, like this is the real deal for them. We've seen them, like you said, interview dozens of coaches. Like you said, they could even interview you next week, so keep your schedule open. But they've been interviewing all these guys through Zoom calls, through Teams, or I don't know what platform they're using, but they're interviewing these guys over the internet, and it didn't really seem that serious. We even talked about it in an earlier video. Go watch it about how this was seem like a Mike or Ryan Poles, excuse me, kind of way to show like, hey, I'm doing a lot of work. I'm trying to save my job here. There's only been one coach they've met in person up to this point, and that was Ron Rivera. Notably, they did not send a private jet to go pick up Ron Rivera. They did not pull out all of the stops. When Mike McCarthy came onto the market, the Bears quickly circled the wagons, and they did some things that were out of the norm. They went and they pulled out all the stops, like you said, private jet, doing things that they really, not even just this coaching search, traditionally, this is something the Bears have never really done. And I think that indicates Mike McCarthy is the guy in the Bears' eyes. He's an offensive minded guy. He would really has done good jobs with quarterbacks in the past. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, that's a pretty good quarterback. I think Dak Prescott at times has been really good when he's avoided injuries. I think he's very, very great passer of the football. He's explosive. The Dallas Cowboys, at times, especially with that Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore offensive system, they put up some big numbers. It's an offense that could put stuff on the field, and it was exciting to watch at times. So I think Mike McCarthy really does seem like fits, especially Caleb Williams himself says he looks up to Aaron Rodgers as his type of play style, the guy that he wants to play football as. So I think all of this is coming down to the fact that it makes sense that the Bears are going after Mike McCarthy because maybe earlier on in this offseason for the Bears or beginning of this coaching search, it didn't seem like McCarthy was on the table. But now that he is, they want to make sure that they don't miss this opportunity. This seems like a can't miss opportunity for the Bears, and I'm glad they're pulling out all the stops and doing anything necessary to try to come and get Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, it seems across the board, everyone's recognizing there's something extra going on with the Bears here in terms of what they're doing to try and hire McCarthy. This was according to Ian Rappaport earlier today on NFL Network. I saw him in an interview. I wanted to write down what he said because I think it's really important. Rappaport said, "This feels like a big deal for the Chicago Bears organization. Mike McCarthy has a very, very real chance to be the next Bears head coach, right? This is Rappaport. This is a guy he's not going to say things just off the cuff. He's going to say things that he thinks he actually believes. And this is a lot of corroborating evidence. Of course, about a week and a half ago, the Bears were the only team in the NFL that made a very aggressive stance to interview Mike McCarthy when McCarthy was still under exclusive rights with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, of course, then famously said, "We'll see you in a few days. You're not going to interfere with what I got going on right now." So we've seen a lot of reports. We've seen a lot of evidence, right? Going back to that, Rappaport, what the Bears are rolling out private jet-wise, red carpet for McCarthy. They've got their guy. They know who they want to be their next head coach. It's Mike McCarthy. Now, whether you think that's the right move or not, that's obviously up for debate. But I'll give some credit where credit is due here for the Bears. If you think you've got the right guy, it's the same thing with quarterback. If you think you've got a chance at the right quarterback, go get him. Right? Don't be passive. Don't be coy. Don't hedge your bets. If you think you've got the right quarterback, go all in. Give up a lot of capital, draft capital, dollars, whatever, to get him. Go for it. If you think you've got the right guy identified to be your head coach, go for it. Pull out all the stops. Be aggressive. I have no problem whatsoever with the Bears being aggressive trying to court Mike McCarthy if they believe he's their guy, which, of course, based on all this evidence, you have to think they believe he's their guy. I see a lot of teams, they really want a coach. They really want a quarterback, right? They're really looking for maybe a GM. They're really looking for that next guy. But they don't want to come across too aggressive. They don't want to be, too public about it because they're afraid of the backlash if they don't get their guy, if the deal goes bad. They're afraid of looking bad. And if you're running a team, if you're trying to be a leader on a football team and you're worried about how you're going to look if things go bad, things are going to go really bad really quickly. You can't have that mindset. If you know what you want, be aggressive about it. That's the one thing I give the Bears a lot of credit for here. They've been interviewing everybody under the sun, but it's very clear one guy has stood out. It's Mike McCarthy to them, and they're pulling out all the stops. I love the strategy, and if it works out for the Bears, obviously it's fantastic for the NFL because Caleb Williams is putting up great numbers and doing some amazing things. I think we'd all love to see that, but give credit to the Bears organization for handling this the right way.